in the top left, in the teal, it's Xenodore. And in the bottom right, in the bacon red, it's ACRAaron. Now you somehow... Yeah, need to do that. It's not going to change until... Yeah, you screwed it up.
I did screw it up. Okay, so we can't actually follow the observer, so we're going to have to just roll with it.
Oh, God.
And hopefully we're both watching the same things. Go us.
Well, it looks like Xenodore is a little concerned about that shenaniganery that Terrans can do.
Yeah, I mean, looking in all the different proxy locations, which is a pretty safe move. I mean, you may not know much about his opponent, but you don't really want to get cheesed out. And, you know, the lower leagues, you could say, are kind of full of cheese. Sort of all leagues. But particularly the lower ones.
They're full of the best cheese.
That's true. The cheese that you don't see anywhere else on the ladder.
So we're likely just going to see a Reaper expand from ACRAaron.
Yeah.
Actually, not with one on gas or not.
That's true.
At least not anytime soon.
Well, we'll see if that gets corrected or if it's like a very delayed Reaper. Could be a delayed Reaper.
It could be CC into, I don't know, Reaper into something crazy.
Yeah, well, let's give him... Okay, there we go. I was going to say, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He's doing something we haven't seen before. It could be really cool. Okay, but no, he's getting that gas now, so he will be able to pump out a Reaper very soon. And this will give Xenodore a bit more time to be prepared for everything, right? He'll have time to get his mothership core up and running before the Reaper gets here.
Potentially a stalker.
Potentially a stalker. Of course, that's assuming that Xenodore doesn't get delayed for an equal or longer time than ACRAaron did. But the Stalker is in production, so it should be ready by the time the Reaper gets here, especially with that Chrono Boost.
So it looks like Xenodore is trying to hide something in the middle of the map. Could be a Stargate. Or it could be a Twilight Council. In this location, I'd say more likely a Twilight, but I mean, Stargates are okay. Oh, it's neither of those things. It is a robotics bay.
Okay, proxy robo, so that could be like a big immortal bust. That seems somewhat likely. So you're not really gonna like proxy it and then proxy your robotics support bay and then make Colossi. That's somewhat less likely.
Yeah, you'd think so.
But you never know. Could happen. But I'm just gonna like go out on a limb and call immortals here. And the cool thing about this is, well, one, the pylon is very protected, and two, you can use it as a forward warp endpoint too, because it's on the other side of these rocks if you do it on the low ground. So this could be a combination of a warp gate timing and also an immortal bust.
Well, we would probably see an immortal being built here relatively soon.
Yep.
Meanwhile, in ACRAaron's base.
In ACRAaron's base, we got a lot of Marines. Gonna have the 6 Marines you need to deal with a potential Oracle, and also a Widowmine coming out. Now, Widowmine could be key in this defense, because if it hits on the Immortal, it could really wipe out all those shields. And spell damage doesn't get affected by the Hardened Shield ability of the Immortal. So that could be the linchpin in this defense. Another plus is that ACRAaron has been going heavy into the Marines rather than the Marauders, so the Immortals won't do bonus damage to them.
Now, this is a fairly big commitment from Xenodore. He has not built another Nexus. It doesn't look like he's interested in taking another Nexus anytime soon.
Yeah.
Which seems to be confusing ACRAaron a bit. There was a very thorough scout done by that Reaper. Like, maybe there's a hidden base. No, there's actually no hidden base. It's just very,
He also has
very committed to doing this.
he has no idea of the robo either. First inkling he'll get of this is when he sees the immortals.
Now, Xenodore is probably just going to wait for this observer before he goes in.
Especially since he should know that there are widow mines now, he'll be able to see the
little crater.
The little crater on the ground.
Yes, we know it's like Aaron, but too bad it's ACRAaron. Okay, so there's the okay. So should have waited just a little bit longer for that observer. Another good widow mine hit. All those zealots just get destroyed. The bunker does go down. This one being repaired quick enough, it will survive, but now all these Marines are in a bit of trouble. The mothership core does go down, and that is going to severely slow down this push from Xenodore.
So it's really important that Aaron continues to get the repair on this, but what happens now is that he's just losing so much mining time from having these SCVs hugging the bunker. So Xenodore is doing some indirect damage through that, and with a second immortal here, he could be able to bust it, or it looks like he's just going to go around. So avoiding that bunker, gets to maybe harass this mineral line a little bit.
That's another good widow mine hit. You've got to be okay. The observer was taken out with that one. You have to be very careful with the observers. They do get like they're so fragile. Those observers.
Actually, repair was going down on that widow mine, so that wasn't going to die either. So it's very nice defense from Aaron, except now he's forced to lift his natural. Having said that, Xenodore still doesn't have his own natural, so it's not like
that stalker.
It's not like Aaron is behind on economy from this.
Okay, that widow mine was also very good for ACRAaron. Does take all the shields out from that one stalker. He's gonna need to wait for another observer though before he continues with his push.
Oh, there it is.
He's gotta be very careful. These observers are so fragile.
And I think with 3 immortals, he should just be able to right-click this bunker and take it out. But he does have to be careful. You don't want to commit to it too hard.
More widow mine shots taking out at least one stalker and the shields of others. That one immortal is completely shieldless, so he's got to move that one to the back. He's just going to back off for now. He's taking his own Nexus. He's realized that this push isn't really going to kill ACRAaron anytime soon. He's just going to try and build up his worker count, his economy, and eventually take up to Colossi.
If he can get a bit more of a denial on this natural, then I think he'd be in a good situation. But that was a really nice widow mine hit by Aaron.
So boring now. When have you ever conformed? Okay, so they'll Xenodore's just gonna hang out in front of ACRAaron's natural for now, have a light contain. It certainly isn't gonna kill him now unless something super crazy happens.
No, yeah, it's definitely defended from ACRAaron, except I would say he's in a pretty good situation because of the fact that he's on equal worker supplies but does have mules, and also he's been mining from his natural for longer. He also has a significant boost in army value. So yeah, this forces a full-on retreat from Xenodore. And he still has this robo in the middle of the map that I don't think has ever been scouted. No, it has not been scouted.
Well, it's in such a strange position. Like, generally you wouldn't go back there.
Yeah, I mean, there's actually very little reason to go over to this part of the map until the later parts of the game when you're trying to open up pathways for extra attack paths and all that good stuff. The drop coming out from ACRAaron looking to do some damage. And what will Xenodore have to deal with this? He's got a good clump of units, but they're not in the main, which is where the drop is headed.
I think, was that Warp Prism spotted?
I'm not sure
know.
if that was spotted. Oh, the drop is unloading.
So what's here to defend? Nothing. Which is going to force Xenodore to pull all of his units at the front and to take out these units in his main. Now, if ACRAaron did have another small force at the front of his natural, of Xenodore's natural, this would have been an excellent time for him to come in and snipe a few probes, do some more harassment.
Yeah, this small drop has done quite a bit of damage and got distracted Xenodore for quite a long time as well.
Blink just barely started here. So these drops are going to cause him a lot of problems for a long, or I don't know, like a minute, I think.
Yeah, and it's also just important to note that, like, this whole time, ACRAaron has been powering up like crazy. He's got a 40 supply lead in army and also like an extra 11 workers plus mules. And, you know, he's just in an excellent situation right now.
Now, I would have expected him to put a third down by now, but I suppose he just is thinking, well, you know what, I defended that push. I'm just going to get a bunch of bio forces and a few widow mines and go for a counterattack, because that was a very large commitment from Xenodore.
Yep, that's for sure.
He lost a lot of stalkers, a lot of zealots in that first engagement, and it didn't really get that much done for him.
And I'm not sure if Xenodore is going to be able to hold this. Does he have the mothership core?
No, it's building.
Okay, so it's building, but there's not going to be enough energy for either a time warp or a photon overcharge.
This is going to have to be the best micro on Xenodore's side for him to hold this off.
And he also doesn't have
sentries.
You know, he doesn't have sentries. He doesn't have colossi. He doesn't have storm. And I mean, he could start making colossi, but he has to march them across from halfway across the map. And that, you know, that's just not ideal, especially since they could run into the reinforcing bio on its way over.
Not only that, but he's like majorly supply blocked right now. He's got over 1,000 minerals.
That is true. Are there any pylons in production? There's one pylon in production. 2 now. So he's just now realized that he's been this supply blocked, making 4 pylons at a time. All the while, ACRAaron is getting prepared for a drop.
So he can take these 2 medevacs full of units, drop in the main, and then take the rest of his army and come in through the natural. This is going to pull Xenodore apart. He won't be able to take both of these locations. He just does not have the units for it. With that Widow Mine.
Oh, focus down on the support bay as well, so that's going to delay the Colossus production even more.
Photon Overcharge does go down. Widow Mines do burrow in time. These mortals are targeted down very quickly. And this is pretty much it for Xenodore. GG. The bottom position in the Cobalt Blue, it's ACRAaron. And in the top position, in the Polygon Teal, it's Xenodore. What is with that square or that rectangle?
I'm not sure if that's on the observing PC, but we see a very strange rectangle on top of Xenodore's nexus.
No, it's not. I can see that. Okay, so that's just a bug. No problem. All right, now what is Xenodore up to?
Do you think we're maybe going to have another proxy?
He could be, or he could just be very eager to scout because this gets walled off so quickly. He just really wants to get that probe in there in case if Avery runs up to something even crazier.
And I guess with the pathing of this, it does look like it is just a scout.
Sees the gas, almost finished.
So you can pretty much guess that this is going to be a Reaper opening from here.
Okay, I suppose he just wanted that confirmation real bad that there's likely going to be a Reaper coming his way.
Last time he was pretty much completely ready for the Reaper, although it was quite delayed. So will he be ready this time? Cybercore is on the way. And that really opens up all the paths that you need to defend that Reaper, whether it be through the Mothership Core or the Stalker.
Yeah, Cybercore is pretty good building.
Yeah,
for sure.
One of the best buildings in the game. I would go as far as saying that.
Quick command center being taken by ACRAaron.
Yeah, that is quite quick. Although on Vanny, since you can sort of wall off your mains so quickly, it can be pretty reasonable to take that CC quick. And it looks like Xenodore is also interested in taking a Nexus relatively soon. The Mothership Core does come out, so it in theory will be able to deflect this Reaper without taking any losses.
The Reaper will get a full scout of the base. See that there is a hidden Twilight back in the back of the natural, and that's going to tell him pretty much everything that he needs to know.
Gets a probe with it too, so not only do you find the hidden tech, but you kill the worker making it. So that's a really great pickup for ACRAaron. So what do you think, Blink or DT?
Probably Blink, but I would always prefer the Dark Templar.
Yeah, Susan, a huge fan of Dark Templar builds in pretty much every form.
We're going to come in, see that there's a Nexus down right now, so there's not going to be any aggression anytime soon.
It also sees that there is not a Dark Shrine down yet either, but the Reaper will now die. So if Xenodore were to throw down a Dark Shrine at this very moment, it would go unscouted and likely be unscouted until it hits.
And there goes the Dark Shrine. That's the best.
Yep. So this is going to get crazy quickly. It's coming up with a Robo too, so we can see some Warp Prism drops, some multi-pronged Dark Templar harassment, all those great things. And this could get really crazy if ACRAaron ends up taking their third base. Their third base. The more spread out he gets, the easier it is to harass with those Dark Templar.
Scouting Marine on the map.
Yep, I'm gonna take the tower. That Marine is on a mission. I hope he packed a lunch though, because he's probably gonna be there for a while.
They're all on a mission.
True.
Repositioning that bunker.
Yep.
For maximal effectiveness.
Well, actually, I do like that reposition, because that means now, if ACRAaron is still expecting blink play, so if the Stalkers were to try and stay on the low ground and shoot up with Mothership Core vision, then they would be able to hit that bunker. But now they're going to have to actually blink onto the high ground and take a hit from that Widow Mine if they want to commit to that.
But he did get that skin on the main, so now he knows for sure it's actually Dark Templar.
That's true. So really helpful scan. Well worth the 270 minerals it would have cost.
He's even going to see the warp prism coming in, so he'll be completely ready for this. And unfortunately for Xenodore, this isn't going to really get anything done.
No, the warp prism gets scouted, the DT tech gets scouted. Basically, as long as ACRAaron is actually able to respond to this, you know, if he was actually watching the screen, then this will be easily defended. And it looks like Xenodore is acknowledging the fact that this rush is pretty much over and going up to Colossus Tech, throwing down a few extra gateways. And he'll probably want to take his third sometime soon.
He's also probably going to want to get some more units. He's very light on the army supply right now.
That's true. He's doing a very tech-oriented open. Not so heavy into the actual units. Ooh, Widowmine drop. So this could do a lot of damage. Are there any... There is one observer out, but like you said, there are just so few units. It's an observer and an immortal, and that's it. So if these Widowmines split up, they could do a lot of damage.
We'll see how quick his reaction is. He's going to have to pull the probes very quickly. So here comes the medevac boosting in. Does he notice? He's not reacting.
Oh,
he hasn't
no
reacted.
reaction.
Oh my god. The probes. This is a huge amount of dead probes.
Yeah.
And oh, he just realized what happened.
Pulls them now. That was 7 kills on those Widowmines. And they may even... Okay, with the photon overcharge, they will not get that immortal as well. But it did a lot of actual damage to it, not just shields. So that weakens it up for the eventual push out of the Protoss as well. But the Dark Templar in the base. How much damage is this Dark Templar getting done? At the moment, he's got 4 kills. And what is the response? There is certainly enough energy for a scan. He might even be in turret range right now, but will he be able to get any more kills? Certainly can't take out that orbital command in time.
He should have been microing it a little bit better. There's very little detection in either of those bases.
Yeah, he could have gotten a bit more damage done with it, but I believe he got about 7 SCV kills.
And it... Yeah, these probes doing nothing. Bad
Lazy
probes.
Probes on strike. Don't cross the picket line.
But that DT was worth it, but it wasn't enough, considering the amount of damage that ACRAaron got done with that Widowmine drop.
Yeah, like, Xenodore needed that much damage with his Dark Templar before the Widowmine drop happened. You know, he was already behind because of how high tech his opener was and the low economy.
This push is going to be very devastating for Xenodore if he doesn't get just the right angle. The probe going across, probably to place a forward pylon, but Colossus range isn't even done. I'm not even sure if it started.
This could end up in a base trade type situation.
Look, there's only one Colossus.
Yeah, 1 Colossus. Probably some Archons coming up with this, yeah. So 2 Archons and also just 2 DTs, so they can do some damage until ACRAaron remembers to scan. Also depending on if he actually notices, but they're just
going to walk right by each other.
Yep, straight up avoiding the army. So that's a nice move from Xenodore. He's going to probably force this entire army to reposition or engage in a base trade.
But
Oh, they know?
I don't think he has range. No, he doesn't have Colossus range.
He doesn't have Colossus range.
This is terrible.
But this is forcing the reposition of the entire army of ACRAaron. So if he can get a good position here, even without Colossus range, it still does a lot of damage. It still can totally wreck Marines, but he's got to be careful. It's exposed at the back. He's going to get shot down immediately. He gets 1 swipe off before he goes down. Now it's all on these Archons and these Zealots and this 1 Immortal. Can it get cleaned up? The Zealots are doing quite a bit of damage in that. They're actually on top of the tank line.
I think there's a Dark Templar in there as well.
Is there? There are certainly a few Dark Templar in the army.
Yeah, there's one in there.
Okay, so, yep, now Xenodore is knocking on the front door. He's got to be careful with his observer. Gets shot down by that missile turret, but ACRAaron is forced to land the Vikings, which is never a great situation.
But with all these Dark Templars, even with the turret, it's GG, and Xenodore takes game 2. Right, and the Bacon Hero Teal, it's Xenodore. And in the bottom left, in the crispy red, it's ACRAaron.
From Team Kappa. Is this gonna be a gas first? Okay, well that's in. Oh, we know there was already a
There's already a
barracks in production. Observation skills. Okay, so with the timing of that, it will probably end up being yet another Reaper expand. It seems like ACRAaron has his opening build down, just practiced. That can be a good way to do things in the lower leagues.
Xenodore is going to proxy.
You're right.
He's proxying probably a Stargate.
Or
probably like right behind these rocks.
It could actually just be another Robo, because with a proxy Robo, you pump out 2 Immortals, and you can really quickly bust down those rocks, and you're already in the main through the backdoor location.
That could also be.
Although it would be a good proxy Stargate location because it's so close to the main, and also it's very likely not to be scouted. It's not on a Reaper path. You probably wouldn't walk over there.
My money's on Stargate. It's faster too. You don't have to bust down any rocks. You just chrono out that Oracle, fly in, snipe as many workers as you can, and good to go.
Yeah. Either of them would be a really good option from this situation. We'll see what it ends up being. And the big question is, will ACRAaron count the pylons? Because he can, if he's paying attention, he'll see that there are not enough pylons in the base and notice that there could potentially be a proxy Stargate somewhere. So you're right, it's going to be a proxy Stargate, and we'll see what you can get done with it.
Or just hidden tech. Like, in that position as well, you can place the pylon in such a way that you can warp DTs in on the other side of the rock.
That's true. Yeah, it could be a very multi-purpose proxy.
Oh, he's going to see this probe coming back too.
Oh, that's
He's going to wonder,
shady.
What was this probe doing?
Yeah, so if you didn't know there was a proxy already, now he's going to be fairly certain of it. And he's even looking around for it. He's going to check out that tower, see if it's within vision range of that. And yeah, this Reaper knows something's up. He's going around looking for whatever shenanigans the Protoss is up to. But will he find it in time? Wait, did he? Okay, he didn't cancel. He supply blocked. That's the issue. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that supply block gets me every time.
So that gives ACRAaron some extra time to find whatever's going on, or possibly just build some blind turrets or get Marines or a Widowmine in position.
The turrets won't be ready in time. Not a chance. The Oracle's just about to finish. The EVA will just about to finish at the exact same time.
Yeah, so there certainly will not be turrets.
So we're going to see how much damage he gets done with this. If he gets 5 worker kills, that's really good. This is unique.
I think that may have been F2'd.
Okay.
I think he was trying to deal with the Reaper and grabbed it with F2.
Okay. So because of that, the turret's going to be finished. And this Oracle will get a lot less damage done than it could have. Oh, he's got to be really careful.
Okay. He gets at least 1 kill, and he can save this for later.
Oh my god!
Oh.
That's so bad!
Okay, the Oracle goes down, which is not the best situation. He got at least he got 1 kill.
Yeah, and a Void Ray follow-up.
Okay, well,
That's a little less common.
Yeah, I like that move, though, because, if you're in this situation, your first cheese failed, it's maybe a little too late to go into something standard. So just, when your cheese fails, try again. So he's gonna maybe go for a Void Ray bust.
Void Ray bust. Yeah, I guess so.
And you pump out 2-3 Void Rays, and then just go in for the attack. You can do quite a bit of damage, especially if they're not prepared for it. If you get the Zealots on top of the Marines, it'll screw with their AI. Gotta be careful about this Widowmine, though. Ooh, lots of damage done with that Widowmine. And that's not what you need to, not what you want to see when you're in a situation like this, when you're already down and behind.
Xenodore's gonna have a lot of difficulty coming through here. No detection. The Oracle was not saved, so there's no Oracle he could have used for detection. There's no robotics. No robotics even in production.
Yeah, his best bet is just going to be to separate like single Zealots to tank the hits.
And there's no natural for Xenodore either. And ACRAaron has his natural and his main. And he's got to watch out with these Void Rays. That's very close to that.
Just out of range. So getting that reactor is nice. Those things take forever to build. This is a pretty nice defensive position from ACRAaron. Getting all those Widow Mines in nice positions.
Okay, so yeah, he is now using the Oracle for detection, but Oracles are also quite fragile, as the Observers are, so you have to be very, very careful not to lose it. The scan does go down because he thinks there's an Observer, but it's actually just that Oracle, which is very low health. Second one coming in. Both of these Oracles could also be used to take out the Marines so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, if the Oracles don't get targeted down, they do a lot of damage, and they could quickly melt all those Marines.
Using both of them for detection is also unique.
Yep, less than ideal, but, it works. He's going to go work on these rocks to get a different attack path. That was a very well-fortified position, so...
Was that the Artosolope?
Yes, there was the Artosolope over there.
That's the first time I've seen it.
Yes.
Anyway. Now, Xenodore needs another base.
Yes, he needs his natural.
He needed one like 5 minutes ago.
He needs his natural, or he needs to make this cheese even crazier. Throw in 3 DTs, and I don't even know how to make this crazier from here. But he needs to do something to kill him right now.
Oh god, that Widowmine.
Okay, well, he forces the big reposition. Unfortunately, he doesn't have...
Oh my god, that Widowmine hit got so many of those units. The shields on all those Zealots go down. That Void Ray just got destroyed. Didn't even get the turret for that.
Okay. So what do you do from this situation? Xenodore has taken his natural. Took it at the beginning of that engagement, so it's halfway done. If you look at the units tab, he's got 24 probes versus 39 SCVs, so that's less than ideal too. What do? You turtle it out and try to max?
Yeah, and build more gateways. Look at this.
The bank?
Yeah, well, yes, of course, the bank, first of all. And there's only 4 gateways at 13 minutes in.
Well, I mean, in his defense, he was on 1 base, so I guess it was just not hitting all his macro cycles. His 4-gate Stargate should be enough.
Yeah, and 1 base, 13 minutes in, still not...
that's true. Okay. He needs to adapt and spend his money, that's for sure. So whether that's more gateways, another, get a robo, even another Stargate, he just needs to spend his money somehow, and also to collect more of it.
Okay, so the robotics is now complete. I'd really like to see him put the support bay down, I believe. Or is it the facility? I don't remember.
Support bay.
Yeah, support bay. Now this push from ACRAaron could just completely mess Xenodore up if he's not ready. He's just going to snipe down this Nexus really, really quick. There's very little here to contest it. Zealots coming in from the main, trying to do as much as they can.
Oh, but the Stalkers were stuck on the ramp. Only 2 of them were attacking. This Nexus will go down. And then the question will be if Xenodore can defend this on the high ground.
Did he lose one of the oracles?
He
lost one of the oracles.
Yeah, he lost one of the oracles.
He's got to turn that oracle on to destroy all those marines and really let the void ray go to work, but oracle does get focused down really quickly. The stalkers are going to get destroyed by the marauders. Concussive shells also really help out in picking one stalker off at a time. This is really bad for Xenodore.
Yeah, I think this is the game-ending push. Xenodore is going to go out of the bracket, or of this, no, not the group
Match
either,
series.
of this match.
And this is it, right here. We're just going to wait for him to decide when to GG out. There it is. And ACRAaron takes this series 2-1.
And he'll be going to the winner's match.
Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to support the ASL by hitting the button now.